Great to see you, Daniel. So Zelensky, he confirmed that the United States is asking Ukraine for help fighting against these Iranian Shahid drones that, ironically, have also been used. The same model has been used by the Russians in Ukraine, right?
It is, yeah. Early on, Russians have gone to a couple of iterations beyond that, but they started off with, I think it's called the Shahid 136 out of Iran, and so yeah, that's one of the earlier models that they had.
And the Sting, the Sting interceptor, I think we've got some video of it, and the company behind it, or the group, the consortium behind it, the Wild Hornets, I mean, they kind of cobbled this together in the beginning of the war, and yet they are churning these out 100 a day or so. And you see, they seem to be pretty effective. Do you think that something like this is going to have an impact in Iran, when you're also talking about, you know, all of the different weapons and the defensive weapons that we see the United States and their allies using?
Yeah, everything depends on you know, your alert, how much advance notice you have, how fast you can get them into the air, because you have to be, you kind of vector them in there. You got to be sort of on the flight path or sort of near to it so that they have a chance to catch, because you see that they have to fly faster than the Shahids are flying so that they can close the gap between them. So, but it can't be too far away or they use too much energy getting up there. But this kind of shows that it's really an interesting thing, because it shows the evolution and how fast things are changing in the war, because this started really in 2020 with Azerbaijan and Armenia war. That's where you first started seeing drones have an impact on the tactical battlefield, and then that translated into the Russia-Ukraine war 2 years later. And there is so many rounds that this has gone through, where you have action, counteraction, and development, and then counter development, where they learn how to get after them. And I think that part of this came from when you had the fiber optic drones, because for a while those couldn't be you couldn't knock them down with electronic warfare, and they were powerless. Both sides were. And now then you find out something like this, where you have counter drones to take out drones as well, and that's just where we are right now. And I'm sure it won't last that long before they find a way to counter that.
And we're seeing a lot of the negotiating, at least it seems as though it's happening on social media, with the president of Ukraine, very good at kind of making all of this public as he's talking to the United States. And yet this is not Ukraine gives us a bunch of drones for free. Like, what does Ukraine need right now?
Yeah, well, he's asking for PAC-2 and PAC-3 missiles, because those things are good for some versions of the Shahid drones. But you understand that the Russians have several variants. They also have the what they call the Garin 2s, which are jet powered. So those things I doubt work against those, because I don't think they can fly fast enough. But so he's wanting something that's, because their biggest concern is the Russian missiles, because they have almost no ability to shoot down Russian missiles, and we have too few PAC-2 and PAC-3 air interceptor missiles to give to them, or even to sell from them from any source, because we've sent so many over the last 4 years, and so he wants more of those. So he's using to try and leverage his experience and his capabilities in this now to get something from the United States. So yeah, it's not exactly like he's you know, trying to be Santa Claus or anything. He definitely wants something for this, and he's also said that he wants some diplomatic leverage too, to try to put more pressure on Russia from the United States. We'll see if that works.
If it does work and they get what they want, do you think that that's going to tip some scales in Ukraine?
I don't think it's going to tip some scales, especially if their production of 100 a day. It's not like they're going to just suddenly give them all to the United States or to Israel. I mean, they obviously need them for their own needs, because there's a lot. Very often, you're getting 500 and 600 of these Garin drones that come in from Russia to Ukraine. So they're not going to want to get rid of the ones they have. So the scale is probably going to be pretty small. That would go. And again, Iran is such a massive country, and you've got to have them somewhere near the point of origin. So it's something that could help, but it's probably not going to tip any scales.
Lieutenant Colonel Danny Davis, thank you so much.